Hello out there, YouTube. What's going on, everyone? It is D-Dun here. I am the average gaming dad, and this will be my last video for Black Ops 6. You know, as of tomorrow, we'll have Black Ops 7, the new update, updated Verdansk, new guns, a ton of content coming, which I covered in my last video. So if you want to know what to expect for Black Ops 7 and Warzone, watch that video. I explained everything that was in the Call of Duty blog post. And while I'm yapping, just yapping away, we'll have here in the background a couple 29 kill games. So, you know, some classic 30 bomb chokes from yours truly. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about what this last year was like for me. As always, I would encourage you guys to comment below. Let me know what you guys thought. I do respond to every comment. I think I say that in every video. But yeah, love interacting with you guys. And yeah, so what was this year like Call of Duty wise for me? Well, you know, it's really easy to look at what's been happening lately on the channel and, you know, have a lot of praise. And honestly, as of right now, Call of Duty, at least Warzone in its current state, outside of the long queue times, is actually in a pretty good spot. I know the meta is kind of boring, hasn't really changed a lot, but you know, for the most part, there's no big glitches or bugs. I very, very rarely at this point run into hackers. I'm sure they're still out there, but I feel like I don't run into hardly any at all anymore, which is surprising considering how few people are playing solos. You know, there's only got to be a few solo lobbies. So if there were hackers, you would think I would run into them frequently, but I don't. So I think that's good. But earlier in the year, like Call of Duty Warzone was probably in its worst state than it's ever been, which I think probably a lot of people have said that every year. And to be fair, you know, Call of Duty has been in a decline. We all know this, and I don't want to just. This is not like a just shitting on Call of Duty video. That's it's not really the kind of content I like to make. I like to keep it a little bit more positive, but I also want to be realistic and honest. You know, with the people viewing this. So, you know, really, I think just the integration was really, really poor on this game. You know, to be honest, I don't think Verdansk is a good map. I honestly preferred the Modern Warfare 3 map. I know that might be a hot take. A lot of people didn't like, was it Urgistan? I think it was. I don't honestly remember what it was called. I think Urgistan. But I know a lot of people didn't like that map. I liked it because it was easy to traverse. I don't like maps with just wide open spaces. That's just personal preference. You know, maybe that's more in the heart of a BR where you have, you know, more strong power positions. And I am glad that they added at the very least, you know, some zips and stuff on buildings that made it a little bit easier to combat people in those power positions. But, you know, lots of buildings with just one-way staircases, and, you know, just a lot of running up and down staircases to try to get to people. Which to me is just really boring. And of course, you guys know I'm an aggressive player. I don't like sitting on rooftops with snipers. It's just not my game. And if you like playing that way, like I will not fault you for that. You know, have fun however you want to have fun, as long as you are in fact having fun. You know, you do you. It's just, you know, my personal preferences. So that's my personal preference. Dang, I beamed that guy. But, you know, the integration was just full of glitches. It was hard to make classes. I think that was like a big thing. You know, obviously we had like no meta changes or very, very few, you know, so that kind of got a little bit stale. We would get new content, you'd unlock it, and I'd be excited for it to try something new. And then it would turn out to just not be viable in any capacity, which would be really, really frustrating. But, you know, I think the biggest thing is just when I think back to, you know, when they integrated Verdansk, it just wasn't good, man. Just like I said, basically just a lot of glitches, just a lot of bugs. There wasn't anything necessarily, I think, game breaking that comes to mind. But damn, it was just hard to play the game because, you know, you would get kicked from the game, dropped from the game would randomly close, whatever, you know, you want to call it. That was often really annoying. Be hard to join parties, be hard to like sync up with your friends to play. It was just not a good user experience overall, right? And you know, obviously that's just not ideal for, you know, what you would expect as a top tier AAA studio FPS game. You would expect just the basic functions of the game to work, and at its onset, that didn't happen. And that was really, really frustrating. That turned a lot of people off. Then we started to see, you know, waves of hackers coming on, ruining games. You know, I, I, you know, remember a time when there was absolutely diabolically insane hacks in the game, like literally people being invisible, flying cars, just the most heinous hacks I think that you could ever even think of creating being in this game back in OG Warzone. So for me, running into the occasional aimbotter, you know, it was frustrating at the time, but you know, I didn't get too worked up about it, but I understand why people would be frustrated with it. It just like it was a big detractor, but it was enough for me to kick off the game because it wasn't, for me at least, it wasn't like every game I was running into a hacker. To me, that would be, you know, frustrating. I think a lot of them were in rank though, so I'm not saying that the problem didn't exist. I'm just saying me playing solos, I didn't see it that much, but I know, for example, in ranked play, it was absolutely horrendous. You know, I would occasionally tune into like Biffle live streaming or whoever playing ranked and seeing firsthand just hackers on hackers on hackers every game. I'm not really a ranked kind of guy. I like to just go into a public lobby and try to ruin people's days. Um, and so my experience for the most part was fairly positive when it came to hackers. Not denying it existed, but it definitely seems to be a problem in ranked, but just my experience wasn't too traumatic. So after, you know, months and months and months of that, lack of interesting content, a lot of people just really tuned out to Call of Duty. And then, you know, we saw the release of Black Ops, or not Black Ops, but Battlefield 6, Red Sec came, Arc Raiders came, even in there, just something completely different like Marvel Rivals, which obviously is not in the same scope of game, not even close to the same genre as Call of Duty. But when the game can be incredibly frustrating to play, people will, you know, tune out and go try anything else. And slowly over time, we saw a lot of people moving away from Call of Duty and trying other games. And, you know, by the end of it, you know, I played a little bit last night, and, you know, it's just, the queue times are horrendous. And I don't know. Outside of the queue times, I don't really have too many complaints with the game, and like I said, in its current state. But overall, you know, it's hard to think back of super fond memories of like the game itself, and I think that's bad. It's still very fun to. It's still fun to play. It's still something that I use to kill time as my main hobby and everything. But you know, it wasn't like, just didn't quite have that appeal. I think even for me. There's definitely been better years. I think to some extent, people just like bashing on Call of Duty. So I think there was probably a little bit of that, just people loving to hate on the game. And that's okay, you know, do whatever you got to do. But I definitely mid, you know, I give this year maybe like in terms of the actual game itself, maybe like a 6 out of 10, just because, you know, at the onset, it was like a 2 out of 10. It was a frustrating experience to play. And games should be fun, not frustrating. And just the basic functions, the menus, all the bugs and glitches and stuff with everything, just made it really hard to just actually sit down and play Call of Duty. And so, but in this current state now, I think it's like a, I don't know, like a 6 or 7. The game runs good. The connection's like, but like I said, don't run into many hackers. The guns are balanced. There's nothing crazy broken. So, its current state, it's not bad, like a 6 or 7. But definitely bad at the start. So maybe if you average those out, it's closer to like a 5 out of 10. So definitely not a great year in terms of the game. But I gotta say, in terms of YouTube, this year was absolutely wild for me, man. And I really can't thank you guys enough because this does go out to you. It was just one of those really random things. If you're new to the channel or you need a refresher, just quickly summarize. I was just playing solos, ran into this random low-level player who was very good at Call of Duty. I thought like he wanted to play together, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? This could be fun. Turned out to be Expel, who is a huge YouTuber. I think last time I looked, it was over 400,000 subscribers, and I didn't know that when I posted my POV. I just posted a video of my point of view. Then he turns around, and I think it was like a day or two later, posted his POV. So then a lot of people came out to my channel and they saw the video that I posted. It got, I think like 10,000, 12,000 views, something like that last time I looked, obviously, and then gained a ton of subscribers off of that. When I say a ton, for me, like 150, 200 subscribers from that video. Or at least from people coming over from Expel's channel. And that's monumental for me. For a channel of my size, it basically doubled my channel size, at least from, I guess it wasn't quite double. I grew by like 50%, which is crazy. I went from 400 to like 700 subs in a matter of a few days. And, now my videos where I was only getting 10, 15 views a video, now I'm getting consistently over 100 per video. And, people are commenting, liking the videos, they're engaging with it. And it's been crazy. I'm eligible for monetization, which is never something that would happen. Now, granted, I have not made $1 from the YouTubes. Right now, I can't get any ad revenue, but, people can like super chat or become a member or whatever. And there's also just consistent additional subscribers. Every time I post a video, I typically gain a subscriber, 2 or 3, sometimes 4, which I wish I could create more content, but I have a full-time job. I have 3 kids. My son, plays football, every season. So it's like every Saturday, going to those games, other responsibilities. So, I don't have a ton of time to game. I don't have a ton of time to make videos, but when I do, it's great to actually get some responses. So in that regard, I think this year was a massive success. And my youngest son, who turns 5 months this month, he's at a point now where his nap schedule is pretty consistent, and he also has been napping for extended lengths of time. And so starting tomorrow, hopefully, or at least sometime in the next couple of days, I will be starting live streaming again, which is, I prefer live streaming over a video because it takes in totality, we'll call it 2 to 3 hours to make a video and have a thumbnail and get everything edited, rendered, uploaded. And so whenever I could, and then that leaves me for that day, maybe like an hour, maybe. Sometimes I just get to make a video and then that's it. So it sucks up a lot of the time that I would normally have gaming. And whenever I live stream, the VOD's up, so people will always have a video that they can watch. There's just hours of content. So it's a lot easier and it is very enjoyable as well when people are joining, chatting, and everything. So, you know, I'm looking forward to that. I want to hopefully be my main source of content, and then whenever I, you know, have a good game, I'll save that and post it as a standalone video, you know, hopefully on days where I'm unable to stream. So, you know, this is big for me. This is a hobby that I've done since the original Modern Warfare 3, which I don't even know was like 2011, 2012. So, you know, and it's not been consistent, obviously. It's not like I'm uploading multiple times a week during that time, and took, you know, I think probably years break, like a couple years of a break in between posting YouTube videos. But it's kind of crazy that here I am, I'm 37, I have 3 kids, and I'm having the best games I've ever had on Warzone, as well as my biggest successes on YouTube. So, you know, I'm excited to see what this next year has to bring. Hopefully I can continue to game and get good videos and continue to post content that people, you know, are enjoying and engaging with. But yeah, it's been a great year for me personally. It's been a great year on YouTube. Just maybe not the best year for Call of Duty. So with that, you know, I will just say fingers crossed for a positive year ahead. Hopefully they don't botch the the integration tomorrow. I know I have heard it's like a 200 plus gigabyte update for tomorrow. So, you know, there's a lot that can go wrong when you have an update that large. But just as an individual, I tend to be very positive, very optimistic, even maybe when I shouldn't be. That's just my personality. And so, you know, fingers crossed that that it's good and things work and there's not bugs and glitches and like hackers day one and all that. So we will see. I'm always optimistic, but you never know. But at the very least, it was a great year. It's a year that I will look back on very fondly. And I mean, this is aside from, I mean, I guess I've never gotten, you know, 30 kills in a solo before. I managed to not only do that, but to do it consistently, which is really insane. I truly thought that, you know, getting my first 30 kill game would just be, you know, just kind of be a one-time thing that would just happen. You know, I did it, and then that was just a cool thing. I didn't think that it would be like getting 20s, where I'm getting them, you know, every other session. Now I'm getting 20 kill games, you know, or sometimes multiple every session. So I don't know if I'm getting better, and I covered all that in a previous video, so don't want to relitigate that. But I just, you know, just kind of wanted to talk about this year. I guess to summarize, the game itself started off really, really bad, ended up in a pretty good place. And in the scope of that, in regards to YouTube, it was a phenomenal year. Oh my God, that guy just absolutely melted. But yeah, so cheers to you guys. Just again, I can't ever say it enough, and just to thank you for, you know, subscribing, for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos, like them, to subscribe, leave comments, all that stuff. It means a lot to me. I truly enjoy doing this as a hobby. You know, maybe this year we'll get to a point where we're making, you know, a little bit of money from it, but not too worried about that right now. Just enjoying the ride, enjoying producing content, enjoying just playing Call of Duty, something I've done since 2007. So I don't know. Cheers to you guys, and fingers crossed for a good year ahead. Thanks for listening to me just, you know, chat and just kind of talking off the top of my head. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Look forward to tomorrow and to hopefully having some Black Ops 7 Warzone content coming out. Thank you guys so much for your time. As always, I really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Changing mags. Daily authorizing UAV mission.
Remaining. Keep pushing.
Thanks for the work. UAV overflight terminated.
Rally on mark 86 lab.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
UAV available for capture.
Give me eyes in the sky.
UAV standing by. UAV available for
Get a
capture.
harp in the sky.
UAV standing by.
Throwing impact grenade. I'm hit. They can't stop me. Index switching maps.
You're losing ground. Move it. You've made it to the top 5.
Not done yet. Marking target location. Reloading. TACOM, requesting recon overhead.
You've got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Rally on marked coords.
Incoming LDBR.
Mission timeline expired. UAV exited the AO.
Oh shit! Takes more than that to finish me.
Gas moving in. You're in the top 3. Don't let up now.
Not done yet. Changing mags.
Win the last 2. Now finish this. All enemy squads eliminated. Excellent work.
SBR awaiting targeting data.
Switching mags. Under fire.
UAV available for tasking.
Marking target location.
Loadout drop headed your way.
Marking contract. '86 that.
Your objective simple. Eliminate all bounty targets.
TACOM. Requesting recon overhead. Five kills.
Gas is inbound.
Changing mags.
Priority tasking request received. UAV exiting AO.
All bounty targets destroyed. Hell of a job.
Reloading. Rally on marked cohorts.
UAV standing
Give
by.
me eyes in the sky. Marking target location.
UAV is bingo fuel. Returning to base.
Not done yet. Changing mags.
available for tasking.
Daily authorizing UAV mission.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Switching mags.
Tackle. We're flying on fumes. UAV returning to tank.
Indicating waypoint.
You've got a loadout drop inbound.
Reloading.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Incoming shots. Takes more than that to finish me. Switching mags. Under fire.
UAV standing
Give
by.
me eyes in the sky.
You've got gas moving in.
Priority tasking request received. We're a dot.
Marking target location.
UAV available for tasking.
Marking contract.
Bounty targets are up. Get after them.
I'll drive. Yes, 10 down.
Primary objective complete. All
Vehicle
targets
marked.
eliminated.
TACOM, requesting recon overhead.
Standing by.
Cancel. Silly you! Thought you could get away.
Priority tasking request received. UAV exiting AO.
Tag on.
Give me eyes in the sky. Switching mags.
UAV is bingo.
How is that
Down,
even
just
fucking?
like that. Reloading.
UAV available for that.
TACOM, requesting recon
Standing by.
overhead. Indicating waypoint.
Thanks for the work. UAV overflight terminated.
safe zone.
Daily authorizing UAV mission.
UAV available for tasking.
Timeline expired. UAV exited the AO.
Reloading. TACOM, requesting recon overhead.
Gas is moving.
Rally on marked coords.
TACOM, we're flying on fuel.
Switching mags. Give me eyes in the sky.
Hostile UAV in the area.
UAV is bingo fuel. Returning to base.
Enemy UAV is online.
UAV available for tasking.
Enemy advanced UAV.
Sighted
in-
flashbang. Oh shit.
Priority tasking request received.
Changing mags.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located. The Gulag's locked down. Area's clear.
UAV standing by.
Daily authorizing UAV
UAV
mission.
available for tasking.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
Priority tasking request received. We're a dot.
It's down to 10. Win this thing.
TACOM, requesting recon overhead.
Enemy UAV overhead. You're losing ground. Move it.
TACOM, we're flying on fumes. UAV are turning.
Reloading. Daily authorizing UAV mission.
Only 4 left. Enemy advanced UAV overhead. Heads up, the jailbreak is active. Watch for sky blossoms. You've got gas moving in. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the sky.
Switching maps.
Gas is closing in.
25! It
Enemy
counts. It
UAV
takes more
is
than that to
online.
finish me.
Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy deployed an advanced
Reloading.
UAV. Gas is inbound. Hostile UAV in the area. Enemy UAV overhead.
Changing maps.
We're in the top three. Don't let up now.
Incoming shots!
Only two left. We've got gas inbound. Safe zone relocation. Gas is closing in.